Masala Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard yesterday Harris County has a mandate now. You gotta stay at home, you gotta work home. So what's the difference between what was there before? It almost seems like that's what we were in. But no, before was optional. Now it is a mandate. You must stay at home. You must work from home unless you are deemed an essential business. And then you can go out and you can do your essential shopping and your grocery. But otherwise, you must stay at home. So it is a mandate. So first, Lena Hidalgo, Harris County, she issued that. And then Judge K.P. George, who is the supreme leader of Fort Bend County, and he issued that statement as well. So what does this mean? How long is it going to go? Is there any chances of it going more until the 10th of April, until Easter? Let's find out. Let's talk to K.P. George and give him a call.
Yeah, hello.
Judge K.P. George on the air with us. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
So you issued the stay-at-home. Could you just explain what that means?
Stay-at-home is maybe a lighter version of a curfew. I mean, you can live your life, but you cannot assemble. You cannot, go to a party, or you cannot, and even we are requesting religious organizations to have their services live streamed, and your essential services will run. The hospitals, the doctors, the clinics, and grocery stores. You would be able to go and buy groceries, and you would be able to go maybe a restaurant takeout or things of that nature. So you could go buy your essential supplies and stuff, but we are 100% urging our residents to stay at home. This order is issued till April 3rd, and we reevaluate as and when it is required. If we don't need it before that, we will end it, or we need to extend it, we will do it. But we are watching it every single day, and I just want your listeners to know that we have a stay-at-home order, but we are not staying at home. I am at work. So many people are at work, so that we could flatten this curve. I mean, this is a serious issue we are facing. And our numbers are, I don't know, people notice in the U.S. these numbers are going up exponentially. And even in our region, it is going up. As of now, last week, we only had 10 or 11 cases.
In Fort Bend? Are you talking about Fort Bend, 10, 11 cases, or Houston?
Fort Bend, 10 or 11 cases last week, and now it is at 46. And based on the numbers, I don't want to speculate it, but it is going to go up. If you hear tomorrow 60, you wouldn't be surprised. And if you go to 100, don't be surprised, because what happened is now, little by little, we are going to have more testing facilities available.
Yeah.
So that means we are testing more people, and we are seeing when you test more people, you're going to see more positive cases. Yes.
The 40 number is really not an accurate number of the 40 people that have this. It's just that 40 people, from all the people that were tested, 40 people came positive.
46.
So there's so many more. It could be so many more. It could be hundreds more that have not been tested.
Correct.
So where do you go in Fort Bend? Where do you go for testing?
I encourage them to call their physicians, and also I encourage them their own primary care physicians. Or there is a number in Fort Bend. If you go to the Health and Human Services website, I'm driving, I don't have that number in front of me. When you go to Health and Human Services website, there is a 281 number available, and that's our hotline. And that number they could call, and there are operators are standing by, and so they will guide you to the available space.
So this stay at home, it almost felt like something similar last week. You know, a lot of people have been staying at home last week. So how different is it from last week or Monday when you were on the air and you said we should stay at home? Is this so last week was optional, this is mandatory? Is that the difference now?
That is correct, and because if I mean, like I said, you are okay to drive then when you have a genuine reason why you're driving. But at the same time, if a police officer or our deputy stop you, you should have documentation showing why you're driving, because. I mean, we are not going to. We are not. I mean, in the sense, the whole idea people need to understand. We don't want a lot of people just simply traveling and simply mingling, because we have to. I'm sure by now you heard the term flattening the curve.
Yes.
And that is something we have to do ASAP. And when we do that, we are better off. But the challenge we are facing is, if you talk to any doctors in local area, the Methodist or all this local hospital system, the challenge is the lack of having enough testing kits, and the lack of having PPE, which is personal protective equipments, which is mask and gloves and gowns and all that for our healthcare workers to wear, so that they could service those who are sick. And also, I just wanted people to understand, this is the last thing I wanted to do, and it was a hard decision for me to make, because of this decision.
Which one are you talking about? The decision to the stay-at-home order?
Yeah, that is correct, because this decision could affect people. And maybe some people lose their job, and some people, maybe a small business, maybe will get shut down. And it is a hard decision I have to make. But at the same time, I want you to understand, we are trying to save our most vulnerable people, our elderly, and those who are sick, people going through chemotherapy and all that, the immune, they have less immune protection. So we are trying to save those people. And another thing is, anyone and everyone could be a carrier, even though you don't have the signs and symptoms. So this is an invisible enemy, but it is everywhere. You cannot see it, you cannot feel it, you cannot smell it, but they are everywhere. So please follow the instructions. We just wanted to do our job and get back sooner than later. So we need your help.
Judge KP George, who is the Supreme Judge of Fort Bend County, he's the one that issued the order. But also at the same time, he's saying that he doesn't, it's with a heavy heart that he issues the order. He knows that some people, I actually do know somebody, Judge. I know somebody that lost her job because she's in sales in the medical area, but not directly in the medical arena with the patients, but she's on the sales side. And she said she couldn't, her mother said, don't go to work, stay at home. KP Judge has issued a stay-at-home order. And so the employer said, hey, sorry, I'm gonna have to cut this job. And she lost her job. Maybe, but this is the thing. If people need to understand, if it is an essential service, they could go to work. Yeah.
But maybe that employer is looking to lay somebody off,
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. That it could be, so everybody's facing less business. Even that employer is facing a shortage, a shrinkage in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about, salons or our restaurants and small businesses around us, and they all are not cash rich. They don't have 100,000 sitting in the bank so that they could, survive a little. Because think about it. When they close it down, still they have these expenses, right? They have to pay the rent. They have to pay all those stuff. And so I just want people to understand it was a hard decision I had to make, but at the same time, that decision was made with consultation with our medical community in this area. I consulted with grocery store CEOs. Yesterday I was with Scott McClelland, who is the CEO of HEB, and he said, this is so important because if we don't, he said 20% of his workforce doesn't show up. He cannot open the store. And so I had, if anyone watched our press conference yesterday, I have 2-3 doctors came because they said this is so important to do it because that actually giving them a breathing room to work, creating little gap where they can take a breath, and and actually local hospitals are reporting there is a spike in cases. But when I say all this stuff, we will prevail, and we are working so hard. And America we know that we will come back even stronger than before. I don't want people living in fear. But the thing about it is be 100% careful and cautious, and follow the personal hygiene, guidelines, and follow the
social distancing, 6 foot of social distance. And that's what KP George is saying. I've got KP George on the air. Couple of quick questions, Judge, is that President Trump says by Easter we'll be packed in churches. I want to see people packed in churches. Do you have the same, it would be nice if that was the case, but I'm just wondering, is it too early to make such a statement?
You know what? I wish he wouldn't say anything. I mean, I'm so sorry to you. I'm so sorry. I mean, I know there are some supporters out there. The biggest challenge we are facing, we are on the ground, we are dealing with people one-on-one here. The biggest challenge people like us facing is our Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick saying, those stuff, our older people don't, don't mind this.
Oh, it was an irreverent statement to make that, I would give up my life. We are concerned about some older people's lives, and we are stopping the whole country. Why are we stopping the whole country to save a few old people?
Sunil, let me ask you, I know your mom.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how old she is.
She's 92.
You say that?
She's 92. Okay. You met her. Okay. She knows who you are. And whenever I talk about KP, whenever you're in the news, she always says, you know what she says? He's the one that shook Sahil's hand and, on stage. She remembers you when you gave him the degree.
Right. Having that mom, and my mom is 84, okay? Okay, how do I feel about that?
I mean, it's just it is like when I heard that, it was like a shot in my chest. It was like a big thump in my chest saying, "What? Are you saying that my mom could die and you would rather her die just so that we can save everybody else?" I mean, I understand everybody is important, but so is my mom.
Exactly. I heard there is a lady made a statement. She said, "I'm 75-year-old grandma. You know what? I wanted to live with my grandchildren, not die."
Yeah.
And so again, coming back, we don't want to make it political, but at the same time, and honestly, I don't know President have any data to support that. And I always said this: we use the science, the data, and our professionals. And these three components we always use to make our decisions. And also another thing, there is some, places, I saw an article yesterday saying that President Trump didn't close down anything. We did.
That's true. That's true. President Trump did not close down. If there's any counties that are closed down, Judge Hidalgo closed down Harris County. Judge KP George closed down Fort Bend, and he did not close down to hurt businesses. He is closing down to save lives.
That's right. That is right. And I just wanted to answer your question. Honestly, I wish that was true. But we have no document showing.
No data.
No.
Okay.
No data. No, the experts. No science showing to support that. And, God bless him. And, I wish that was true. But there is nothing supporting that. But the thing about it is, there are some models, created by experts. And they come to find out stay at home or shelter in place is the best way to flatten the curve. And so I just want people to, in this time, we are talking a lot of stuff. We are spitting out a lot of information and sharing. And, WhatsApp is full of,
there's
everything. And please, visit our website. We are not going to put out anything is not verifiable.
Yeah, the
and we are not going to
website.
put out,
A couple of quick questions. I've got a friend
Yeah.
who has a restaurant. He's got a small restaurant in Sugarland, and you know him, Nirman. He was great business. He does great on Saturdays and Sundays. He used to do great business Saturday, Sunday. Now he says his business is not even 10%, and he says, I don't know if I can survive. Now, is this stimulus package, are we going to be able to, is there any help for him? Is this stimulus package, last night I heard 1:30 in the morning, there was some deal being made. How is he going to get any help?
Honestly, I don't have the details of it, and there are, maybe one of the places, small businesses, SPA is a good place to the Small Business Administration. I'm sure they're going to provide some, help, relief. Maybe it is a loan, maybe it is, I don't know what it is. And so watch out, and as and when we get information, we will post it.
Very good.
And we don't want our small businesses to fail. I've been to that restaurant many times, and we held at least a couple of events
Yes,
there.
we did.
And so believe me, our small businesses are our economic engine, and I know they are struggling now. And so honestly, I mean, whatever, and I just want you to know that any science and data or experts say, hey, we are good, and immediate that next second we will lift all this stuff because we want people to go back to normal life.
How likely do you think that this date from April 3rd might move to April 10th? India has issued a 3-week, Modi has issued a 3-week till April 21st or April 15th. What's your thought on just where you are? If you were to make that decision today, if they said you need to make the decision today, would you keep it or would you extend it?
It looked like, I don't have a crystal ball to say this is this way or that way, but I think if I have to make that decision today based on the situation today, it will be extended. But by April 3rd, things could be very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
And we hope so. We hope things are different. We hope people don't go out of business, because if this does extend, a lot of people are going to be hurt, just like my friend in the imaging center. He's hurt. He has to lay people off because he doesn't have any, and these are small businesses. They don't have cash. They don't have cash at home to pump into businesses right now.
You know what? You're absolutely right, and really, I just want them to know that my heart goes out to them, and they invest their lively, whatever the lifetime saving, and put into this in business, and they pay tax, and they hire people, and that's why they are the engines of our economy, but this is the thing. We could suffer for maybe a short period of time and come back stronger.
Yeah, that's
or we could suffer for 6 months, or that, and also the damage is pretty big. And I have seen some models where they're saying if 5% of our population, like 80% of our population, like let's say 30, 40% of our population get affected if we don't do anything. That's almost 150 million people in the U.S.
Yeah.
And 80% of those people are not going to have any problem. They will go through it and survive. 20% need some kind of help. 5% might need even a ventilator.
Wow.
You know what is that 5%? 7.5 million people.
5% is 7.5 million people?
Yeah, out of that, 40% of...
Oh yeah, I see. 5%.
Yeah.
Wow, 7.5 million people.
Yeah, in the U.S. And how many ventilators we have? Maybe around 400 or 500,000.
So you're talking about 7 million people without ventilators. And they're going to die.
Exactly.
Those will die.
Yeah, and actually that's what happened in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't want that. And definitely we don't want that. Our elderly, our moms and our dads and our uncles and aunties and people who are, less, least immune, protection and all that stuff, we don't want to see that. It is going to be heartbreaking. And so this is a short-term struggle we have to go through. It is bad. It is not, I'm not sugarcoating this. And it is hard. It is absolutely hard. But let's fight it together. And more importantly, we live in America more than anything else. And look at 2008 financial crisis, 87, 99. We always bounce back, and we will. And with the 2 trillion stimulus package, I don't know what it is in it, who is going to get it. I have no idea. But the thing about it is, government, I think, trying to do whatever the best they can to support the situation and take care of the situation. So let's hope for the best. The same way he said, Easter everybody will be going to church, and let's hope this stimulus package is going to come down to the people who need it.
Who need it? Yes.
I'm talking about small business owners.
Yes.
I'm talking about average people.
People like my friend who got laid off. Making under $50,000 a year. It would be good to get a check in his hands as soon as possible.
Correct. And also, believe me, there is a number of people, living in an apartment or something. They will get kicked off if they don't pay the rent.
That's true.
And they're going to be on the street. That's the very reason why we requested our Justice of the Peace judges to delay those evictions and stuff like that. I cannot tell them what to do, but we requested.
But you have requested that.
Please. I requested.
And in this time, I'm just so proud that my friend Swapnil Agarwal, who has 20,000 families living in his apartment complex, he's working with everybody that's going through emotional or financial crisis. He's not evicting anybody. He's working with every individual family. So we need more property owners like Swapnil Agarwal and Fire Property.
I tell you, God bless him. And you know what? And also, whatever he's doing, it is even for him. It is a financial pinch. He got to pay. If he got mortgages and stuff like that, he got to pay that.
Yeah, everybody thinks, oh, I can just call my landlord and I can just tell him, listen, I can't make the payment, but the landlord has got mortgage payment on his property.
That's exactly right. And so the point is, God bless him for that thought.
Yeah.
And God bless him, because what happened is, I believe when we do right thing in front of God, and we will get through it, and also we will be blessed. And so I really pray for him, for his
people like Swapnil, people like Javed Meghani, CEO Texans Energy. If anybody is not able to afford the energy bill, he's not cutting them off right now.
Yeah, that is actually
Texans Energy is not cutting you off right now. If you are in financial crunch and you can show it, Javed Meghani is giving you time. He's not cutting off your electricity.
One thing I'm so proud of Fort Bend County is we have so many wonderful people live here and contribute to our society, our community, and make our community a better place. And some of these people you just mentioned, they are those people, and so very blessed. And guess what? When they get they do these things, they get blessed more, and it's not going to be less.
And there's one more person that I wanna recognize who's at the forefront of all this, and he's somebody that has had a long history of community service, and that is our friend, Fort Bend County Judge KP George. We're just so proud. You make us proud when we hear about you make the right choices, the right decisions. It is integrity, it is values, it is knowledge. And you've made the right choices recently, in the recent past, and I'm hearing the things that you're doing for our county. He is the county judge, and you make us proud. KP George, a proud Indian, now working for everyone, working for the people of Fort Bend County, everybody.
Right. And of course, remember, I'm elected to serve everyone in Fort Bend County, irrespective of their color or creed or what they look like. I'm here to serve our citizens. We have, fortunately, we have almost 810,000 people live in Fort Bend County. We are still continue to count, and this is a wonderful place, and we will survive this. And that's the message I wanted to send out to people, and also maybe this is a time to reflect on us a little bit, and maybe we always go like 90 miles per hour with life. Right?
Yeah, sometimes it's good to take a little break. And everybody just kind of breathe and meditate and do some yoga.
Yeah, and
Judge.
also another thing.
Yeah.
Another thing I just wanted to add this. We are seeing there is a spike in domestic violence, and there are some cases.
People are staying at home and they are fighting with each other. Is that what you, Judge? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not
Husbands?
saying, but we
Are you saying the wives are beating up the husbands?
But and also yesterday I read an article in there is a spike in child abuse.
Oh my God, that's
and I just want people to know that we are not going to tolerate any of this stuff. Actually, you know Brian Middleton, right? Our DA.
Yes, Brian Middleton,
And-
DA, elected.
Yeah, he yesterday mentioned this. During this time, anytime or a declared emergency kind of situation, when people commit any crime, their penalty, they're going to be
They can be penalized, heavily penalized right now.
More.
I see. Penalized
yeah.
even more than during a time of crisis. If you commit any crime, you
Correct.
will be penalized. Now, which brings me to my last question. You've issued a stay-at-home mandate, which is a shelter in place, which means you must stay at home unless you are in an essential business. But now, if I'm out there, is somebody gonna if I'm out there, is a cop gonna stop me and is gonna ask me where I'm going and why am I out? Or is there any fine? Is there any jail? I was scared. Somebody said, hey, KP George is saying that if you are, that there's a 6-month, 180-day jail time. And I said, no, I'm gonna clarify that tomorrow.
I never said that.
Okay.
And also I hope we never get there. Our citizens, I believe in them.
Okay.
And they will use this diligently, and they will use it and understand the situation, why we are doing what we are doing. We don't want to stop any of our citizens, but we are in an unprecedented, this is the thing, time, and also a defining moment in our history. When I was talking to somebody, 75-year-old man yesterday, he said, in my lifetime, I never heard or lived anything like this.
Yeah, same here.
In the history of the world or the history of our country. And this is a defining moment. Maybe 6 months from now. And somebody else yesterday was saying, maybe like 5 years, 10 years from now, our children will be learning about this crisis. Okay? This is a historic moment where let's shine and let's be part of this and let's work together. It's not about putting somebody in jail. It's not about punishing somebody. And we don't have enough police officers or the sheriff deputies to go and look at every car. And we expect people to behave. We expect people to understand why we are doing. And we are an educated community. And I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No, I certainly do, and I'm glad you clarified it. I'm glad because, and I'm sure there is, if it's a mandate, there is a certain penalty if you break it, but that's not the intention. KP George is not saying that, you must stay at home, and if you don't, we're going to come get you. That's not we don't have enough officers, but please respect your life, respect your neighbors, respect the community, and we can stop spreading this virus if we just practice social distancing. The only reason why KP George has issued the order is because even after requesting everyone, people are still gathering. People are still gathering in religious functions and still playing at soccer fields and playing. You should not be doing that. You should not be doing that.
And also it is a regional, I am in consultation with Elena Hidalgo and also our, Mayor Sylvester Turner and other regional partners. And we are doing it together. It's not just I feel like doing it in Fort Bend County. It's a regional effort. So that's how you combat, because virus doesn't have any boundary or, it doesn't stop at Fort Bend County line. It doesn't, so we are doing it together. It's not just KP George. I just want to make sure people understand.
Yeah, of course. And what was the population you mentioned about for Fort Bend County? How many people in Fort Bend County?
Around 810,000.
And how many of them, any idea what the percentage, how many South Asians in this, any rough idea how many South Asians in Fort Bend County?
I don't have an exact number. The Asian population is around 22%.
Wow, that's a big number.
That's a huge number, and consider that South Asian could be maybe around 50% of
50% of that.
And again, I'm guessing that number. I don't have an exact number available, so but I will go find it. But yeah, it's big number. It's not few people we are talking about.
Yeah,
this is hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah.
Judge KP George, making protecting lives, taking the right measures, the power that he has, the power that the government has given him, he's using it well. And see, he's very open. He gets on the radio. He talks to people. He is all about communication and giving the right message, the right information. So we appreciate you delivering this message on the radio, answering questions. There are a lot of questions, and you were very diligent and you were very respectful, and so we really certainly appreciate it. Appreciate all the good work, the long hours. You must be putting in long hours. You must be getting all kinds of messages early in the morning, WhatsApp, and from your team and your medical consultants and your other judges that report to you. I know that it's a lot of work for the community. We appreciate it.
Glad to do it, and I'm honored to do it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
That was Judge KP George, Fort Bend County, and it is Wednesday morning. It was a report out as to what's happening in our county.
Masala.